Hey everyone, welcome back to Crushin Cans on the Habs Tonight YouTube channel. Joined with my co-host, as usual, Derrick. How's it going this week, buddy?
It's been a good week, busy, enjoying the night off from being at the rink tonight, having some cans here. So can't complain. You?
Oh,
how's the new house?
Bad. New house is good. Obviously, got a new background here. Got to dress it up a little bit, make it nice. But for those who don't know, last week we interviewed AJ Galante on the Crushin Cans episode last week. So check it out if you haven't. Great interview with AJ. Good sport. We know he's told that story a million times, but he was fun to have on, man.
That was fun. I really enjoyed that one. I've actually watched it over a little bit in the past past week. So it's been all right.
And it's available on podcast platforms as well. So Spotify, Apple, Google, all that stuff. Check out Habs Tonight on your podcast platforms. We are there, so you can download it. And for the new fans that may not be familiar with what Derrick and I do here, yes, we're Habs Tonight. We know that. Obviously, Montreal fan. But this kind of show we do on this channel it's kind of like an escape for Habs fans where we kind of talk league news, fantasy hockey, anything, you name it, a little bit of Montreal Canadiens, but we're all over the place. So it's like a little escape for fans if they want to learn some other stuff or just get away from the Habs a little bit. I know the start isn't what people wanted. So we like to have a few beers, talk some hockey, talk football, talk any kind of deal. It's just like a little escape for people. So hope everybody enjoys it. I know last year was a lot of fun. We got banged up a couple times on here. It was a blast, but hey, we're not stats guys, and I love everybody jumping in the chat already. How's it going,
guys?
Get
the chat going.
Yes, but first, let's get back to our tradition here. I know we drink a lot of torque on here, but I think tonight we're rolling in the hay because I sent you some East Coast craft beers out there. So let's give a little shout out to Big Axe Brewery.
Yeah, I'm excited. IPA. I'm excited for this
because you haven't tried this one, so
no. I tried a few of the East Coast IPAs yesterday when we were chatting there. So,
yeah. So Derrick can't get the stuff I have where he's in Winnipeg, but we send beer back and forth. I mean, we send juice back and forth. But Mike M's already started with some fancy. Pick up Alex Killorn. I have him. I picked him up.
Yeah.
Beauty.
You've been vulturing some players too. See, we'll get into the whole fantasy thing on. Got some issues to pick with Brando here, so there you go. Yeah, no, Pazowski played AAA with me for a few years there. Yeah,
right on. No, speaking. So let's.
Joey's probably in Transcona here with me.
I'm really?
Thinking, yeah.
But I think since we are Habs tonight, let's talk quickly about Montreal's big win last night. I know some fans did pre-games, post-games every game last year.
You can't do that for 82 games. That's absurd.
It's tough. And everybody, I just had a baby a few weeks ago. Dale's in Sweden. Derrick, your kids are back in hockey. With COVID kind of changing or how we approach it, people are able to do stuff more. So we're a little bit more busy schedule-wise. And also the West Coast trip, I mean, we can't do post-games at 3 o'clock in the morning. Most of us have stuff to do in the mornings, like work.
You got to have priorities.
Yeah, but big 4-0 win for the Montreal Canadiens. Jake Allen, 45 save shutout.
He looked good.
Great bounce back game by him.
Sharks kind of look like shit, but whatever. They're not expected to be great anyway. So, but yeah, no, that was a good game, and you need to start the road trip off like that. Especially you got the afternoon games, so you're not going to have the morning skate. Yeah, you maybe go for an early dinner now, because you can get out a little more. Some of the guys can experience the California lifestyle, get out to the OC there.
Yeah. I saw they're at Manhattan Beach on a few of their guys' Instagram. So it's got to be nice going out there. It's still warm, still T-shirt, shorts weather. And unlike last year, these guys are finally traveling we know Montreal did last year in playoffs, went to the States to play, obviously, but this year the guys can actually travel to different cities and they're allowed to go out for dinners. They're allowed to go out and see the cities. So a good Western road trip like this is almost a little bit good for morale, you think, eh?
Oh, for sure. You can, everybody, because you're together now, right? You had a shit start. This road trip couldn't have come at a better time. You get out there, you're all together every day. I mean, you can, maybe cheat a little on getting to bed because if you're early game in the afternoon, you're not going to have that morning skate. So you sleep in a little, so you can maybe go out for a later dinner and maybe, check out the nightlife or whatever. Because LA, Anaheim, there's some pretty good cities, no?
Yeah. So tomorrow it's a weird start time. I know it's 4 p.m. Eastern. I'm Atlantic time zone, so I kind of got to do math in my head before I say stuff. But
3 here, 5
early
there.
Afternoon game, which I kind of like on a Saturday.
Well, you just like cracking cans early. Let's be honest.
Not a bad thing,
right?
But I mean, I saw a few tweets too today, which kind of made me chuckle. Is the Habs are hot right now? They won 2 of their last 3.
Positive.
We'll ignore the first 5 and go. They've won 2 of their last 3. Habs-ativity.
Yeah. Look at the positives. Because I know when we did the Ranger post game, like
wasn't positive.
We were taking a few on the chin there. So and you gotta
have it.
Yeah. I got it. We signed off there. I was like, oh man, I went through 12 rounds there. No, but it
too.
Yeah, that was awesome that they got to go to the game. Like, I can't wait till we can get there. That'll be fun.
Oh, for sure, and we will plan that. We'll let everybody know. So if you are in Montreal or going to a game, we'll let you know when the team's there. I know some people met up with the crew at McLean's Pub. I know a few fans also saw the crew walking around in the Bell Center, saying, "Hey, what's up?" That's awesome. I can't believe stuff like that's finally happening. But it's just nice to finally be back. And then now with Cans, like we said, we'll talk Montreal a bit too. But also, like, we get away from the Habs because we know there's some fans out there that enjoy the NHL as a whole as well. So we'll talk everything, like I said, fantasy hockey, other teams, who's doing well, who's kind of struggling, stuff like that. And we just have beers on Fridays or Saturdays and just talk sports.
Yeah, no, especially if the team's struggling, we can kind of, talk you off the cliff here and talk about some other things. NFL's in full swing, and NFL fantasy is huge too. We both do it. I'm sure some of the chat does too. So, but no, I know we wanted to talk about Freddie Anderson. Let's start going. You want to go there?
Sure. I was just going to start it off. I was texting a buddy today. It is crazy what getting out of a big market can do for some guys. I know, it sounds off or weird by me saying this. Like Carey Price, like not too many people can do what he did, like carry that pressure all that time. I know he's out right now with the mental health thing, and that's great that he's doing that. And it's going to enable a lot of other guys to do that step as well. But like, it just goes to show like the pressure that is on a starting goalie in a Toronto or Montreal or like a Boston kind of market. It's just absolutely insane. Then you see Freddie go to Carolina, and now look at him.
Like we were talking, the other day, he's doing what he did when he was in Anaheim. It's no pressure. If you lose a game, you lose a game. You can go out. You're not going to get ripped in the headlines there. And he's just, it's go about your business. You're going to work. It's not a big deal. He's playing great. The team's playing great. And there's a lot of big questions on that team too this year. I mean, they got KK coming in 6-1. They brought over Tony DeAngelo. He's having a massive start. Like he looks like a stud. And Freddie, like it just came up 6-0. He's not playing tonight, but they were down, I think 2-0. They scored 2 in 13 seconds or whatever. I think they're up 4-2 now.
Yeah. So KK and Tony scored tonight. But one other thing I was going to point out too, I know most fans know of the name stuff, is that Jakob Slavin. He's a stud
good.
on D.
He's good.
And I like what they built too, because Freddie Anderson obviously has won the starting goal tonight. KK 2 goals tonight, so that's something that's changed since we've been going. But like I was gonna say, yeah, Freddie Anderson's won the starting role, playing fantastic, lights out.
Second goal of the season, first goal.
Oh, tonight. Second goal.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you have Antti Ranta as backup. He's capable to be a 1B.
Sorry. I don't mind him as a backup, though. I liked him when he was in New York. They kind of threw him out there pretty quick. He went to Phoenix. He was somewhere else too, was he not?
He could have been.
Was he not? He was in Chicago, I believe, too. Right?
But he's just one of those guys. Like he's obviously not a starter, but he can step in. You know what I mean? So I really like that Carolina.
Really good. There you go. Yeah, he was in Chicago.
And they're 6-0.
No, that team. We were talking at work, and Buddy asked me before the season he's like, who's your, if you're to place a bet right now, who's your cup final? I said Carolina, Winnipeg.
Really?
Yeah. I think that the Jets kind of, they're stumbling out of the gate here, but once that team gets healthy, they will roll.
Yeah, and that's true too, because like you've got Wheeler's been out with the COVID stuff. Same as Scheifele. Scheifele was suspended, but the additions that Winnipeg did on the back end with Brendan Dillon and just bringing in some guys that's where they're lacking last year. I found was the defense core, because obviously Connor, Scheifele, Dubois is doing good this year. Like they have a great. We said this all last year, and talking fantasy. If Kopp's available in your league, take a look. He's doing decent to start the year.
Yeah, well,
it's a great top 9,
and they've been behind too a few games, and they've come back 2 goals, like boom, boom. I don't know. Did you catch that? Was it Ehlers or Connor that went short side on Gibson the other night? Like what a goal! Came in off
Connor, I think.
Yeah, he came in on the left wing and just went short side right under the pipe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was nice.
So Carolina, Winnipeg, I don't like that. Just quick, I just want to get to George's question before we move on. Mm-hmm. I love interacting with the chat here. The Super Bowl, buddies, Cowboys do look decent. Don't hate that.
I got Zeke.
Kansas City's shitting all over the place.
I got Zeke and Dak on my fantasy team. So, I mean, I am kind of pro Cowboys, but I'm not. Schedule-wise, I think Tampa gets first in the NFC. Green Bay, Arizona, they're right there too. But it's going to go through Tampa Bay again, I think. And then out of the AFC, I really like what Cincy's doing. But then again, you still got half a season to go.
Yeah,
right?
That's fair. We're halfway through.
Baltimore looks good. It all depends. You never know. Teams are going to get hot and whatnot, but we'll get to football in a bit, though. 100%.
Yeah. If I had to pick cup final,
it's tough, though, right?
Like I still like Tampa up there. Carolina, I like what they've done, but
let me ask you this though: the divisional playoffs coming through, you still have to beat Tampa 4 of 7. Regardless, they have Vazzy, they have those top D, they have that top 6.
Yeah, that's true.
That's they're not going to try and go President's Trophy. They're not going to kill themselves for it. They got their 2 cups, whatever. They just know, let's just get in, and we have a team here we can keep going.
That's true. So if you had to pick from the East,
Eastern Conference Final,
Carolina or Tampa? Eastern Conference Final.
Who's your Eastern Final?
Big Carolina, Tampa, maybe.
I'll go Carolina, Boston.
See, I feel like Boston's missing something this year. I don't know what it is. It's just
Jack Eichel
clicking. Jack Eichel. I'm sure most of you have known, but Jack Eichel, the rumors, Vegas and Anaheim right now heating up. But
yeah, but who is Vegas really gonna give up? Krebs? Like he's good, man.
There you have zero loyalty. Look what they did to Fleury. They don't care.
I don't know though. They have traded away like their draft picks too, right? So
yeah,
anything is possible there. But Stone, Eichel, Patch, line 1, and I think Patrick's out again too. So
it's a shame too.
I thought he was going to go off this year. That sucks. Like you really want him to, get a bounce back season, especially, with all the conkies that he's had. But hopefully he's back sooner than later.
Yeah. But I mean, like, just back to the Eastern Conference talk, I was just thinking, like, besides Tampa, Carolina, nobody's jumping out like, Florida. Jesus, sorry. Florida's on a heater. We know Coach Q's gone. Not going to get into it because this is our happy place.
Yeah.
Florida, I mean, lights out. Bob has resurrected himself. He's back.
Is he, though?
His team's better.
Jumbo's going to hold him accountable all year.
I feel like Jumbo would be dragging him to the bars.
I don't know if Jumbo can throw back that much vodka, though.
Edmonton, Tampa Bay's, it's sneaky decent. I wish Edmonton would have got goaltending.
I like what George is saying here, but I don't trust Mike Smith.
That's what I mean. If they would have got the goaltending.
Why didn't they go out and get Gruby or something? Or,
money?
I don't trust that goaltending there. I don't.
No. And Mike Smith plays well, but his age and then the injuries just pop up.
And Edmonton does this every year, though. You know what I mean? They shoot out the lights, and then when it gets into a playoff series, they get shut down. Everything tightens up.
Down two guys.
Everything tightens up in playoffs. You don't get as many calls. You know what I mean? So it's...
My question is this, though. Now that they got a more rounded top six, you're seeing a top line of McDavid, Hyman, Puljujarvi, and then you have Draisaitl, Nuge, and Yamamoto. Like, I like their top six, and their decor is better. But like you said, the goaltending for Edmonton. But I mean, just speaking about Edmonton quickly, did you see that stat the other day? It was like Connor McDavid has 50 points in his last 20 regular season games.
He's so fun to watch, man. He's like back in like NHL games where you could legit like boost all your players, and nobody could, like, you would just like score 1 million goals. This is like, it's ridiculous, especially like when you see the Calgary Edmonton, the all Canadian matchup late Saturday night. He's going off.
Oh yeah,
he's like, I think he said in an interview when his started in rookie year or something. He goes, I always remember, waking up Sunday morning reading the Saturday night like headlines, and he's like, that's what I want to be. I want to be the Saturday night headline. And it's almost like a hat trick every time. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, he's getting, like, I think he's got a multi-point game every game so far to start this year. But also, just quickly, just came in my head for any of the fans that are on Reddit, the Habs subreddit. Everybody knows who Mr. Saturday Night is, and that's Carey Price. I just had to shout that out quick for the Reddit fans if they're on here. But no, Connor McDavid, like, it's absolutely insane because he's still going to get better. Like, he's not even prime yet.
What's your over-under for points this year? Saying that everyone there stays healthy.
I'm going to say he's in the 140 to 160 range. Which I feel like is kind of low, but that's still nuts. That's 2 points per game.
Because you got to think later in the year, some teams are going to drop off, and then he's going to light them up.
Yeah, but then he plays Arizona, and he'll get 9 points.
We can bring up Cedric's question there, because we talked about this the other day.
Ooh, I don't know. Okay, you go ahead. Now I got a question.
I know they went over this on Chicklets too, and you can't. Two different eras, right? The goalies are a huge difference, right? Like, I mean, we could be goalies back then. You literally just had to fall down in 2-pad stack. That's what you did. You had the big enforcers. You touch one guy, and then hopefully D'Angelo's putting up points. No, but you know what I mean? Like, it's two completely different eras.
That's what makes it tough.
It is tough. Like I said to you, my personal number one is Mario. But I don't. I don't know. It gets tough though, right? Because
My question is, and I've always thought this, and I could be completely wrong or way out in left field here. I always found like in this argument, Gretz or Connor, I think Wayne's hockey mind is a million times more than Connor. I feel like Connor relies on his raw speed. You know what I mean? Rather than like his hockey sense.
But if you look how if you watch the old games, I mean, being me, dad always had the games on, so you kind of got to watch. I really started to remember the early 90s games. It wasn't as fast. You see this guy, he's from his zone, he's already at the far circles in maybe 8 strides. That's wild, man.
Yeah.
Or these I think aside from maybe Bure before the knee injury, who would have been faster? And look how Bure torched everybody.
Do you think Connor would have been faster than everybody back then with the gear that was available too? Because I know his speed is what gets him.
You gotta look at training too, right? Before guys show up for training camp, that's your training. You just get ready and you go there. Where now the game has changed so much where you when you're out of the playoffs, you take off maybe, depending, right? Yeah. You're off for maybe 2 weeks, and then you're back in the gym. You're maybe not skating, but then you're skating with you're in mid-season form now when you go to camp.
Yeah, well, I remember the interview we did with Suzuki. If you haven't checked that out, check it out somewhere on our videos on Habs Tonight. Susie said he just took 2 weeks.
Yeah, right.
And he went the cup final. It's nuts what some of these kids are doing. I know all the old players that have kind of retired or moved on. They used to say they used to go for beers after morning skates, lunch. Now it's protein shakes and protein bars.
How are you supposed to have a good nap? I'm just saying.
We would have been great 90s players.
We're still great players.
Beg the difference.
Right.
This might be the year you get me to spit out a beer, though.
That's honestly my goal. I just want it right there.
Just all over.
It's gonna happen. I've been close. I'm gonna get you there.
Actually, Cedric said Luke Robitaille, Guy Lafleur smoking between periods. One time in junior, I think it was the first couple games. I was sitting there, a rookie, and this guy takes off his skates, gets his jacket. I'm like,
goes in the shower?
What's he doing? Goes out to the rink, out the back door, has a dart, and then comes back in where everybody could see him. I was like, oh, I guess this is junior hockey in a way.
Oh, we had guys just go in the shower, turn the shower on, light up there. I'm got to go outside. It's cold outside here, man. So they just go dart in the shower.
This kid used to be so good too. And I remember one time, because that guy played nets and he played D for some reason. He used to be a forward. He comes there's a 2-on-1. He's playing D, but he's skating towards me, trying to defend it. And it ends up being a 2-on-0. And he goes, they score. He looks at me and goes, I'm not very good at this sport anymore. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. That's the thing. You could smoke in between periods, but then you have a can in between and people frown upon it.
Oh, I know. But anyways, back to Wayne and Connor. Sorry about that.
Went off the tracks there. Whoops.
I feel like Wayne's a more all around, but Connor's just, I don't know. I'm scared what Connor will do in a couple of years.
He's going to get better. And just the hockey IQ, but if you look at it though, he's 2-3 steps ahead of everybody as it is.
Yeah, because he's so fast.
Yeah. Having Draisaitl, another guy who can bang home 60, in his sleep. That's crazy. Just having those two, that's another Lemieux Yager, Yzerman Fedorov, that Sakic Forsberg. These are an iconic two that can do special things, and you hope they could win together. But is it going to happen?
What's the timeline? How many years do you think Connor gives them?
Is it going to happen in Edmonton? I'm going to say no, just because of nobody's going to want to go play there. It's cold. It's shitty.
But I think when you get the opportunity to play with McDavid, Draisaitl, Nurse.
Look at the Winnipeg team, though. It's impossible to get people to sign here.
Yeah, but
this is a good team, but you're not going to get that 5-star free agent coming here.
Do you think it's a weather thing, or do you think Canada has issues with? I know this is a big argument with no state tax, Canada's taxes. I know Alan Walsh, that the agent, has came out and said they can circumvent that. But do you think weather plays into a factor with some of these guys? I mean, well, your brother's played. Has he said anything where like guys, like there's certain cities are just like, no? Is it media pressure too?
Obviously the fishbowl being in Canada, right? Like Dale loved playing in Vancouver. He loved Montreal, obviously, but you know what I mean? Like some guys whose wives, want to work too, certain cities don't give them that opportunity, right? Because there's nothing there for them. And then weather plays a fact. Like it's cold as shit here, dude. Right? Like
it's true.
It's dark half the year starting at 4:00 till, you know what I mean? But that's the thing though. The fans here are in Canada in general are nuts. Like they eat, breathe, sleep this game. So, but then,
sorry, I was just gonna say, like George. Yeah, thank you, Nick. Read my mind. What would you have to give up, like to get a Connor McDavid? It would be disgusting. I think.
Duffel bag full of money.
Just an underground deal. But I mean, like, you got to give up a bunch of picks, a bunch of studs that are already on your team, prospects.
You have to give up, I'd say,
be a 4 or 5 piece deal almost.
Three first rounders, top 2 forwards you have, and a top defenseman. You have to load that other team up for them to even contemplate it.
Yeah.
You have to sell the
if he's on pace for 160 points, they need to be compensated. By U.S. standards, Pittsburgh's not an attractive place to go. However, top players have been fairly loyal to Penguins. Great point. Good point. And we saw everybody take discounts too. Sid took one, Gino, Letang. And they've got the winning culture there. I mean, that's part of it.
I would say Pittsburgh's like Steelers are huge there. The NFL is huge in the States, right? So, but that's the thing too. Like, I don't like, could you really compare Pittsburgh to like a Toronto, Montreal type thing? I don't think so. Like that team was almost moved until, right?
Before Mario came back.
So it's, I don't know though. I just think that's probably the biggest issue, but you never know.
Yeah.
Right. Like you would love to see them win. You really would.
Yeah. No, 100%. I'd love to see Connor McDavid win. I'd love to see even Leon. Like I really like Leon Draisaitl's game, but just going back to kind of where we started all this. So what was your guess on the points for Connor McDavid?
I was about you. I was guessing 140 plus. That's ridiculous. It is.
It's like a 1.5 points per game, 1.7.
Am I wrong to say that 160 is probably what it's going to be, like a 2-point average?
No, it's not, because it's not out of the realm of possibility when he has 51 points in his last 20 games.
That's good, right?
Like, do you know what I would do to get a player like that on Montreal? I would do some questionable things to watch a player like that. It's just, like, can you imagine?
This is where the mic gets muted and the screen gets blacked out for a minute.
Do you know what I mean? Though, like, can you imagine being a fan of a team knowing one player on your team is at least getting 2 points that night, no matter what? So you're like, okay, we scored 2. If our goalie only lets 1 in, we are probably going to win, because then you got to stack Leon Draisaitl on top of that, and then a young not young, he's mid-20s, Jesse Puljujarvi, who's getting better. He's looking
Pull
good
Harvey?
this year. Pool party.
Pool Harvey.
But you know what I mean? Though, like, could you imagine every Montreal game you're watching, you get 2 points no matter what, basically, if you have a Connor McDavid?
Right. But then again, having Draisaitl, I think, really plays into it.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you have
Connor can't do it all by himself.
No. And I even remember Draisaitl, like he was in PA and then he got traded out to Kelowna in the dub, and then he went on that Mem Cup run. Like I was watching him, I was like, who is this kid? Like, wow. But I think they can probably can they get it done?
I'd like to see a little bit stronger D core. I don't mind their top 6. Their top 9's
Hyman's good there.
Hyman's a great addition.
Yeah, he's exactly what they need there. That guy's going to get
exactly what they needed.
40, just sitting there picking his ass in front of the net.
Speaking of sitting there just scoring goals, let's turn the page over to Ovi here.
Let's just look at this can though. Sexy.
It's a nice one. So Ovi, what do you think about
40
him?
plus
this year?
Yep. Pissed off that Oshie got hurt though. That's not cool.
He's leading the league right now with 8 goals. I feel like he's got to do a certain pace of like 25 or something, isn't it?
30, 31.
For the next
5.
That's possible because
he
just sits there.
Yeah, but they changed up that power play, so now where he starts at the top on D.
He creeps in back door.
And then he's slowly, and then everyone, by the time they realize he's there, it's like, oh, all right, the best goal horn in the league is going off. Yeah, I said it.
738 goals. And that's the thing, like if you keep sneaking back door, they'll start watching it. Then he just stays high slot, 1D in. And he's doing it this year without Backy. Backstrom's not even playing yet.
Well, he's got so much milk, man. He had the takes. But that's the thing is it is a lot of what Ovi, like his shot, but give credit to John Carlson. Yeah. That guy feeds him
Nick Backstrom
all
too.
day. And it's like the Caps are another good team too. Like
they're another team that, regardless of what's happening injury wise and stuff. Here's the Ovi goals and everything.
Jesus,
he's on a tear. Sorry if everybody's just listening. We're just looking at some stats of the highest goals per game rate among players aged 30 or older.
Look at Newsy.
But so, like, do you think he passes Gratz?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so too.
Let's remember that he's been through COVID now for 2 seasons. Chad can help me out. 2 lockouts, right?
Yeah, 1 half one and 1 full one.
And that, and those were in his prime, possible 60 goal seasons.
Yeah.
So,
and honestly, I think it's harder to score nowadays than it was when Wayne was playing.
Yeah.
That's not a trip on Wayne.
I don't think it's an argument of that this is the greatest goal scorer we've ever seen in the game. It's just look at all the games that he's missed here. This is a guy that could probably be, because how many back is he right now? 150 or like one something, whatever. He would be a lot closer, if not like maybe on point to pass him this year.
So right now, Ovi is sitting 5th overall. He is 3 behind Brett Hull, excluding tonight. I'm not sure if he scored tonight. If he gets 29 more tucks, he passes Yager. And if he gets 63 more, he passes Gordie Howe. So Gordie Howe will be next year.
You don't know that.
He's not going to get 63 from now. That means a 70-goal season.
Stranger things have happened.
Stammer's got up to 60, didn't he?
Yeah, he scored his 62nd in Winnipeg or something.
Yeah. But I mean, and the thing is about Ovechkin is
Guy's a freight train.
in how he keeps scoring too, like that power play. Like we've seen it as Montreal fans, like most people that will watch this or listening, they've tried it with Weber for so long, and it was just so telegraphed. But like Ovi's been doing it for what, 15 years now, 17 years now, same spot, same wind up,
Oh,
and it's still getting through.
because he's
What? 04, wasn't he? 04 lockout?
Yeah, because I think he's an
05
80.
lockout?
He's an 85, right?
I think he might be an 86. Sid's an 87. I feel like he's a year older than Sid.
Yeah, so
but
he's an 86.
Ovechkin also great at like 23 years old. So
That's stress.
how old is he? Document.
Russian gas. 85.
He's
See,
85,
I was
you're
right. See?
Yager left the NHL tour early.
Did he?
He's running out of steam when he was in
He's
Calgary.
still playing.
I know.
And I think, what was it? He's like, the only reason like the team is still like getting people in the stands is because he's playing. Because I don't think the team's very good.
Well, I saw
But how is he still scoring? Like, come on now.
You're standing in front of the net. He's got that big ass still. He's just going to stand there and bump people out of the way.
Think he's still doing squats?
Oh, dude, I guarantee you he still has keys to the rink. And for those who don't know, he is
So why
keys
isn't
to
he
every
doing
rink
like
he's played in.
Why isn't he doing the TikTok thing? With
The
like
weighted
big
vest
bang?
and the weighted blade?
Sure. Just walks around with a weighted vest all day. Those things aren't light at all by any means.
But I mean, I do have to, I'm hoping Ovi passes Wayne. And it's not even like a hatred out of like Wayne. It's just, it'd be something cool because I wasn't old enough when Wayne was around to really appreciate it, where this time I am. And that's kind of like watching like Connor, like I'll turn on Edmonton games just to watch McDavid. As a Habs fan, I'm like, I got to watch the best player.
Right?
It's just fun. And like I still enjoy watching Sid.
And like I remember, like I don't remember Wayne in the Edmonton or Kings days, but I do remember the St. Louis and then off to the Rangers. But you know what I mean? It wasn't like he was kind of on the back nine there, so it wasn't. You never got to see the spins, the flash, but you did get to see him in the Olympics with the best of the best. Like Torino, well, that doesn't really count because it was on at weird times and whatnot, but. You know.
Yeah. So chat, just put yes or no if Ovi passes Wayne, if you're paying attention. Which I want to see what you guys are thinking. I think he does. Because I mean Backy's re-signed. Kuzi's still there. Kuznetsov's actually having a bounce back season this year, which is good to see. That guy had COVID 3 times.
Was it COVID or is that just what they're saying? We all know the guy's got off his issues.
He had symptom issues.
I'll show you a symptom issue.
Too many nose swabs.
Thank you. Flying monkey.
Flying monkey. It's actually a wicked looking can. I'm going to show it to the chat.
They have this raspberry hibiscus one. If you can get your hands on that one, grab it. So good.
So a lot of people in the chat think Ovi's going to pass him.
Yeah.
Okay, so chat over under McDavid gets over 140 points this year. He's at 15 points.
Yeah.
In 6 or 7 games, which means he's over 2 point per game.
You don't have him in fantasy, do you? Like in any leagues?
Connor?
Yeah.
No. I finished mid-pack last year. Terrible drafts. Like I picked.
That's on you.
Where did I pick? 5th and 6th all year this year. Junk keeper league. I'm just rebuilding.
Keeper league, yeah. So anyway, I guess we'll kind of circle back to when we started here. In my work league, we had a guy drop out, and we needed a guy to jump in. So Brando jumped in, and we had been talking fantasy or whatever. So Brando jumps in, tweaks the team a little, steals half my queued players. And now, what, you're in 4th, 5th?
Yeah.
I think you're 5th. Yeah.
Because I've had one goalie not play all year. For those that, like, if you're playing fantasy hockey either for your first time or you're relatively new. One hint or advice I give is obviously all of your stars are going to be gone, especially when you're the first couple weeks in and you're playing with the experienced players. Just try to target guys that play with the stars, or try to find the guys that play on the power play with them.
Power play.
And if you're looking at young guys for keeper leagues, I know we all saying Cole Caulfield's praises. I still think the kid's going to be a stud, but check out Lucas Raymond in Detroit. That's a young stud if you have a keeper league.
Mo Sida.
Yeah, Moritz Seider.
I've
been saying Cedar for like 3 years now, looking like an idiot. And I finally asked people on Twitter what it was, and it is Cider.
Yeah, but hold in your defense, Joel Armia went from Joel to Yoel in a matter of provinces.
Yeah, because he's got 2 dots on the J.
Well, he does now. He didn't when he was here. And how about Perot? Same thing. Their names apparently change when you fly over that Ontario border into Quebec. I don't know. Come from Manitoba that way. I don't know. Names change.
So let's get Cooper's question here. Not sure if you guys have touched on it, but what do you think about Riley contract?
Marner's getting traded. Adios, bud. See you later. 5 guys could for like 60% of your cap. Not happening. Someone's gone. Marner for PK straight up.
Okay. Let's get back to sensible talk.
Excited there.
Honestly, he could have got more on the open market. Fair assessment.
Wants to play with Pablo.
And I think
he likes Toronto.
What he did with doing the 8 years is instead of getting more on the market, he got 1 extra year. So it gets him to $60 million. He's left a little bit of money on the table because he believes he's going to do well in Toronto, believes in the core. I mean, every guy that re-signs with their team believes what they're doing in the direction. And I think for Toronto, I think it's a great signing because a lot of people like him. And I think they need – I think it might be – I know John Tavares is the captain there, but like Morgan Riley's that guy I think a lot of people respect and appreciate, especially in the dressing room and stuff, besides John Tavares. I don't hate the contract. I'm just curious what it's going to look like year 6, 7, 8, because we've seen, and this is not a chirp on the players, it's just the way the game is going. The age thing scares me a little bit because guys are getting old after what, 28, 29 now, Dare?
That's what I'm saying. Like, does this maybe in the back of his head maybe give him an out that he's an easy trade in those years where, hey, if I can still keep it up, I can get out of here and still go to a contender. Like, is that in the back of his mind? Because you're not winning in Toronto. Let's all be honest here.
And the argument is too, with having so much money tied up in the cap, my opinion is
they have to Spezza. I think you let him walk. Kashe, let him walk. Some of these guys you can do without.
And this goes into my argument where when you have so much money tied up into 5 guys, you are relying on your drafting to get those entry-level contracts that can produce, or you're trying to get the guys trying to bounce back like a Josh Hosang or something. But the one kind of also like the one downside of this all is you're starting with like a brand new team almost every year because you're replacing those low-paid guys every year, because if they play well, they're going somewhere else for more money because Toronto can't afford it. So you're bringing in new guys every year, new team. That's my opinion.
Look what Montreal did. You went to the Cup final and you have a completely new team this year. Exactly. Where you get a team like Boston who is continuously there and they don't tweak a lot.
Tampa didn't tweak
here
much
and there.
This year I know they lost their third line, but
the Islanders are right there.
Florida didn't tweak much.
No. And that's the thing. I think you got to believe in what you have. Don't be like, oh, we're right there. We need to bring in all these big pieces, because then you mess up the chemistry that's in that room. You bring in a guy that, he can score 30, but maybe, he doesn't gel well with some other people.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, as much as I dislike the Leafs, obviously he's a Habs fan, but
you got Leafs on your team though for fantasy?
No. And it's not out of hatred that I think the 5 guys were gone by the time I could draft. But what I was going to say is, I think overall, as like a non-biased, just pure opinion, I think it's a great AAV. I'm just nervous how he's going to be year 6, 7, 8. But obviously, that's a. I find the NHL nowadays management's almost like, okay, sign them for the 7, 8 years. Worry about it later. Just ship them off to whatever team's rebuilding. They'll take the cap hit or whatever.
You always got those teams that got to get to the floor too, where you're like, hey,
exactly.
give me a draft pick. Here you go. Here's your guy.
And what was I going to say? Phil Kessel money comes off the books. I think they get 1.2 million back from that after this year. So there's an extra 1.2 for them. But it's going to be tough because, like, you got Mrazek, you got Campbell that needs to get paid. Then you got to start worrying about your D.
Mrazek's on a 2-year deal?
2 or 3, yeah.
Then again, though, you could ship Mrazek out to a team like Edmonton at the deadline because I like Mrazek. I honestly think he's a good goalie given the right.
Yeah.
So I mean, that wouldn't be a guy maybe to back up Mike Smith because he can come in if he needs to steal a game. Koskinen, you really going to take that guy deep? I don't think so.
I'm not trying to be negative here, but if you're a team, let's say Montreal struggles and you're not going to make playoffs, you got to be thinking Jake Allen. What do teams want for him? You know what I mean? He could help out Edmonton. Yeah,
100%. And then you got to – the Pacific goes through Vegas, no? Vegas, Edmonton? It's not the strongest division.
Yeah, that's true.
Vancouver's not anything special.
They haven't figured it out yet.
No. Central, Colorado, St. Louis, Winnipeg. Dallas could be a tire fire by then. No one knows. So really, Edmonton, I think if they think they can go, they'll make the moves.
Exactly. And Jake Allen's what, $2 million?
Yeah,
this year, next year.
Cheap, man.
So if you're Montreal and you aren't making playoffs, I hope they do. Don't get me wrong. Like, I hope they turn this around and everything. But I'm just talking just pure hockey talk. If I'm Montreal, I'm looking at Ben Sherratt, Lehkonen, and Allen to get me some extra shit if you're not in a playoff position. Because those are 3 guys you can just capitalize on.
It's going to come up in the next couple of weeks. They say it every year. If you're in the playoffs by American Thanksgiving, I think 90% of the time you're in. So you got about a month to get your shit together. Maybe, do you try and trade a few of the guys? Maybe because it's not working.
Like right now?
No, like say, by Christmas or whatever.
Yeah, but then you're almost trading in a position of weakness.
Well, not if you got a guy like Hoffman, right?
That's true.
Because he's under term. Teams will look for that.
I think a few teams have started doing this now. Instead of waiting for the trade deadline, they're trading a little bit earlier so the guys in their system and used to it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because Hoffman's only a 1 year, isn't he?
I think so.
Ooh.
That's bait. You get a few picks, maybe, It's
a perfect rental player for the Habs. But also, if he does real well, you make playoffs, you got to re-sign him. Then it's a lot of money.
Do they have money for that, though?
I'm not sure how it all works out. I haven't paid any attention to cap friendly, especially the Weber stuff.
And is he really going to get what he wants in Montreal? I'm going to say no. You didn't want to pay one of your young centermen. You're going to bring, he's 3-year contract.
Jesus
Anyway,
Christ. Thank you.
We're on fire. Just shut it down right now.
Not stats, guys.
Shut it down right now.
Also, Kulak is on a good deal, which expires after the season. Yes, and Kulak has looked really good this year, I thought. I think he's almost like what Petrie's been doing. And I want to touch on Petrie right after this, too, because we are the biggest Petrie fans, and we got to own up to this one.
Beautiful,
But
man.
Kulak, I find, is getting better almost every year. Is this a good year to trade Gallagher? No, I think he's staying.
The whole Gallagher thing, you could, I guess, in a sense, You willing to face the backlash of that?
I don't think so.
No, nobody. I would say the one guy on this team that is Carey, he's untouchable. Everybody else,
Allie? Susie.
Yeah, well, he's locked up. So they essentially those two are untouchable. Everybody else, I think.
Okay, I want to talk about Petrie though.
He's beautiful, man.
Beautiful man. Ugly start to the season. I'll call it as it is. He's struggling. Yeah. But now
he's the guy though, right?
That's
Last
true.
year you had Weber, where he was that, and Petrie was line 2, but now he's the guy.
Yeah. And once Edmonton gets back, I think you'll see Petrie bounce back to normal self. Like even in interviews, doesn't seem like his normal self. But I want to quickly touch on Weber. Now you made me think of it. Now that the cat's finally out of the bag, because we've known for a little bit, obviously, because we talked to Dale. I mean, it sucked staying quiet for so long when all the fans were like, oh, they're pulling a Kucherov, and then like knowing what he was going through last year and when he was struggling and the team was struggling, it just sucks because information that you couldn't say. And then watching this Warrior get like just shit on and
shredded, and you have guys saying you need to fucking sit him. Well, you know what? If you don't know the whole story, like maybe keep your mouth shut. Like none of us know really exactly what's going on in that room. We somewhat of an idea, but don't assume unless you know for sure, right? Like some of these guys are having a shit start to the season. Well, you know what I mean? You don't know.
Exactly. And that's why we preach on the show too, is like, just as fans, we know everybody gets upset. I get upset. I get frustrated too. I still do. We're all human. We all do. It's emotion. It's normal. But to go online and attack some of them, not knowing the story, it just sucks because especially now everybody knowing how broken Weber actually was.
Imagine if he came to your job and just kind of like ripped on you every single time you messed up.
Yeah.
Imagine how that would feel.
But do you think a part of Weber not being there
I know
is part of the struggle at the start of the year? Like that I know a lot of people are saying this kind of, and I might be a little bit in the same boat as well. Like, is there like, I hate not identity, but like a lack of leadership or a lack of identity now with all the new guys in, Webb's not being there, Pricey not being there. Do you think that's a little bit of an issue?
I think it could be because I don't. Well, obviously Pricey, not a vocal guy, leads by example. Goes in there, gets the job done regardless. Webbs is always there to give that 2 cents, and maybe there is kind of you need a voice there, right? Where one of the young guys, cheers, buddy.
Thank you.
Maybe it's kind of like a transition now where you have those young guys coming in, you have the new guys, you have the old vets. You're going to see a difference after this road trip, I think, because this is where you get to spend time with everybody.
The gel.
You really get to know the guys because
I would have paid Corey Perry the 2 years. I'm sorry.
If he wanted to stay, he would have stayed.
Burge only offered him a year. Tampa offered 2. Burge didn't want to do 2 years.
Didn't want to pay a guy.
And George, Nick, can you bring up George's comment quick? George mentioned we do not know anything that's going on inside their locker room, and that's 100% fact. And we kind of got ripped on it last year when Dale came out and said Weber is almost more important in that locker room and off the ice than he was on the ice last year, because we know Weber didn't have the year he wanted last year. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. This is not ripping on Shea. The guy could barely walk.
But you hold everybody accountable.
Exactly. That's the thing.
You need to be held accountable. And that goes for any team, right? Like you have to,
That's how it goes in life. Being accountable. Yeah. Showing up, doing the work, doing the right thing. And that's what Dale always preached. Like Shea's impact off the ice was as important. I know.
That was good. I like that. Get a shirt. Get a shirt.
Anyways, the impact off the ice was massive, and I've never heard Dale talk more praise for somebody than when he talks about Shea. And like this is even when like we're texting, like not even on a show or anything for the YouTube or whatever we're doing. It's just Weber has that thing, and you hear guys talk about it in interviews. Like Suzuki talked about it, Gallagher's talked about it. Anybody that's played with Shea Weber's talked about it. Like there's something about Shea that.
Sorry to jump in here, but even the Josh Georges thing, playing with the guy in junior, like
Exactly.
check out that. Like there has been nothing but praise about this guy. Like he has a presence. You know when a guy walks in a room and just has that like that presence.
Yeah.
That's him.
Yeah. And like I think you could see it too when the guys saw Weber when they were in Seattle. It's a big step. I think they're missing that little piece. But I think we're going to figure it out. It's still early. I know there's stats out there saying it's not looking good. And I usually believe in numbers, but it's still early. Get on a roll. Whatever happens, happens. If they struggle, hey, there's Shane Wright. So I'll say it. I don't like, it's weird. And
I'm capped at saying things here, and you can just straight up tank. All right, sweet.
As a fan, I don't know if it was. I don't know if it's because we had our baby a few weeks ago.
That went quick.
Like perspective change, but after the run to the Cup final last year, as a fan, I'm like, okay, Weber and Pricey got their shot. Like this year, I had tempered expectations, and like I just don't get as disappointed or frustrated anymore. Because like they made the Cup final, they got there.
I've brutally said it, but they probably won't make the playoffs. If they do, it's a wild card team.
Exactly. And anything can happen in the playoffs, which is great. It's like last year.
Right? Like I'll say it again. The first bubble weren't supposed to be there. Last year, because of the Canadian division, you got in. Right?
Yeah.
Everyone's saying too, like, look at the Leafs. It's a shock to the system now that you got to go south. You got to play all these big teams again. You're not dummying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Deeks.
Deeksy's in here.
Yeah. Oh, hey.
Thank you.
Beer.
I don't want to butcher your name, Jack Mert. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Appreciate it.
He's new to cans here. I've noticed him a lot in the chat, though. I appreciate that. Good man.
We love the guys interacting with chat.
Yeah.
Just quickly too with George, let's get Dutch Scratchy back. He just got back to Sweden. He'll be back making appearances soon.
He's 8 hours ahead of me, which is 6 of you.
No, 5 ahead of me.
Really? So 7 me?
5. Yeah.
Maybe he's dodging me. All right.
Easton's first appearance. Kind of waiting for him to fit into the onesie that the Habs Tonight team got for him. They got the team at Habs Tonight got
I don't know. You got
Crushin milk bottles.
I was gonna say you gotta wait. You ruined that one.
But sorry. But yeah, Crushin milk bottles. Onesie the team got me in Sheriff for Easton. Pretty pumped. It's been a whirlwind. It's been exciting, and I think that's what I kind of alluded to at the start of the show is everybody's been so busy now.
Well, because everything's getting back to normal, right? Where everything's opening up. Like both kids are in hockey. I'm going every day. I got ball hockey starting again right away too. Subbing for hockey teams. Like I spend more time out of the house than I do really at it now. So way she goes. I
had a question for you too. I want to touch on fantasy hockey because I know it's it's getting more popular, and I'm sure there's some fans that play it.
You're vulturing my players. Let's talk about that. I bring you in the league being a nice guy, and then you start vulturing my players.
Which one? The ones you didn't pick?
Hey, first of all, I took a chance on Ryan Ellis here. He's hurt. Would have picked up, Drysdale, but no.
Yeah, I got given a team I did not like. The team was auto-drafted, so fans know I struggled off the hop, so I had to fix it. And I fixed it knowing that Derrick had these guys already on watch lists because we both kind of think the game the same way. And I just grabbed guys I knew they're going to do well, and now he's upset he doesn't get them. But my team was hot dog water. It was not good.
That would be a great fantasy team name, though.
When you suck, hot dog water.
Or maybe chocolate starfish in the hot dog water. Yeah.
Do you have any sleepers?
Did anyone get? All right, never
Cop. Mind. Sorry.
I took Cop last pick of the draft. I was like, how is anyone letting this guy go? He's going to score 20 this year. He's in a contract here. Like, fell right into my hands. But now my team is, injury.
So Cop was one. I know Chad was saying Alex Killorn, if he's available in your leagues, he's hot.
I took Drake Batherson, Ottawa.
Yeah,
Josh Norris.
Josh Norris is another stud center if you need a center. Lucas Raymond's a left and a right wing.
Alex Iafallo and Adrian Kempe out in LA. Not a lot of people get to watch this team, and these kids they've been in the league like I think 3-4 years now. These guys are studs.
I know if you need a D, Jacob Slavin is another one to look at on Carolina. Pierre-Luc Dubois on Winnipeg. He's lighting it up right now. He's only owned like 60% on Yahoo Fantasy. This is what we're going off of for stats.
How?
I don't know. 60%. He's going to be their 2C this year. He's going to be playing with Ehlers, Connor.
2C. Give that guy another couple games. I think it sucks that are you really going to take Shifes off one? Shifes and Wheels play good together, though.
I know, but I've seen some Twitter where Winnipeg fans want Wheeler on the third.
Winnipeg fans want Wheeler gone. It's brutal here, man.
I guess a lot of the fans aren't fans of Wheeler this year, but Paul Maurice, I guess Wheeler's his boy.
You leave Paul alone. Paul does what he wants.
Some other players, Bowen Byram, Colorado, defenseman, rookie. My league another league I'm in, you have to have a rookie. It makes it a little bit harder, but more fun if you're doing fantasy. Bowen Byram, Jamie Drysdale, Zegras, Lucas Raymond's a rookie.
Drysdale.
Who else are some good rookies?
How about Tony D'Angelo, though? Another two apples.
Olofsson on Buffalo. How about Buffalo being 5-1-1?
Victor Olofsson, I don't know if anyone's been paying attention to this guy. This guy is a power play machine. He has a rocket of a shot. And
we've mentioned before, if you're fairly new to fantasy, even though the team stinks, I mean, well, they don't stink. They're 5-1-1. Like, take your Buffaloes, your Anaheim, your Phoenix. The guys that play power plays still get the points.
Phoenix, not so much. That team's absolute they
had 3 shots in 30 minutes. But
that team is dog shit.
Cole Caulfield's a rookie. Is he going to get going? I think so. I think the last couple games he's played actually decent. He's making the right plays. I almost think he's like gripping the stick too tight, thinking too much. I mean, I remember last night in the first period when he had that break, it was a 2-on-1 or 3-on-1, and he went offside. Like, the guy is just unlucky, but he's playing. I don't hate his game. I wish he'd get more into the dirty areas. Derrick, you pointed this out even last year in playoffs, like corners, board battles. He's hesitant. It's obvious. I know that's not his game, so I can't knock him too much. But
I know it's not his game, and like, you gotta, you know what? Just get involved, though. You know, you get in there. Maybe the guy tries to hit you. You slide underneath. You kind of come out. You throw it in the middle. Bang! You get an assist. And you get going. Sometimes you got to get popped to make a play. You can't
exactly take a hit, get in the game. Like, you almost want him to get flattened for shift.
Even what I tell the boy, I'm like, if don't go fishing, man. Like, what is that going to get you? It's going to get you fucking it's going to get you a spot on the bench, right? Like,
he needs a fluke goal, absolutely. Like Gallagher's goal last night, just a random goal. And like Dale alluded to this with talking about when we talked to Jake Evans. Like, Evans was struggling in Laval, couldn't do anything, and the goal went in like off his ass or something, I think. And just those fluke goals, like, we've always said, like, these guys know how to play hockey. It's just sometimes it's just not going right.
You see that Minnesota guy's first goal? He was picking up his stick. It went off his skate. Like, I was watching it. I was like, no way. And he looks back. He's like, Goal's a goal, man. They don't ask how.
Yeah. But like there's tons of rookies this year, and the league's only getting younger. Actually, I want to touch on this. Jack Hughes, before he got hurt, separated shoulder or whatever, but the OT goal, stick toss in the crowd, are you a yay or nay?
Who did didn't Bure do that? He just kind of rifled it.
I don't know. I'm a yay. You know why? Because everybody harps on the players for not having personalities and like fans or whatever, but like you score an overtime goal in your own barn and you just want to
you get free reign to do whatever you want.
Exactly.
You do whatever you want.
Whoever grabs
you can like harpoon it in the like maybe not harpoon it, that could go south.
Right.
Yeah, right. If he went down the tunnel and came back out with a potato gun, like I don't care. Do whatever you want. It's your building.
I just love I think you're starting to see more personalities and I'm kind of enjoying that.
You need that.
Yes.
I think the game is better too because of it. Like you see the NFL now, they're those taunting penalties.
Oh, it's a shame.
Wow, is that garbage?
I'm for jersey of the crowd. That wouldn't be a bad one. Take it off and
I'm for what are you, Dean Portman? No, I don't mind it, but I mean it's better than a jersey coming from the crowd on the ice. Not calling any fans out, just saying. I'm not gonna
4 games into a season. It's like you guys are
you know what? Just like at that point, just get rid of your season tickets at that point. Just fuck it.
Yeah. Let me throw a $300 jersey on the ice after my $300 ticket and about $100 in beer or whatever you bought.
$300 ticket that close to the glass in Toronto.
I know.
Keep going.
They're on a 2-game losing streak.
So ticket prices drop. They probably go up just for that chance to see a win.
Oh, just speaking about personalities quickly though, there's a couple of Habs personalities that have some Habs Tonight gear.
Yes.
Just waiting on them to let us know how it is. But I believe when the team went to Montreal, a certain Nick Suzuki, Gallagher, and Evans, I think, got some of the merch that we have on our team store. So check out those guys. I think hopefully they post a picture of their stuff, but they got a bag full of goodies.
Got a new toque in there too.
Yeah.
It's actually really nice. Coming. Yeah.
You know what's sweet though is the Habs Tonight, like our sweatshirt with like the HT. So sick. I know we're getting 2 on our way now.
I'm pumped. Yeah, I'm getting what else?
Get these here. Crushin Can hat.
Yeah, I got a white one and a black one coming. The white one is nasty.
And the shirts, I'm not just pushing it because obviously it's our brand, but like our shit is comfy. I swear to God, I'm not lying. Like our stuff, like the shirt is comfy. The hats are sweet. Get it if you can. Habstonight.net. And check it out.
Stickers, backpacks, jackets. Love to get like a Crushin Cans sweatpants. Crushing on one cheek and then bang, cans on the other. Love what we're doing for the game.
But I'm hoping at least I hope Gallagher or Nick can at least just give us a little post saying how good the merch is, but they're out west, so we won't bug them.
Right.
But anyways, Crushin Cans is back. For the fans that weren't here at the start, I know we got off the rails several times again tonight. This is what we do. But just want to remind you guys, subscribe to our channel, Habs Tonight, on YouTube, all of our socials at Habs Tonight. But also, I just want to reiterate what we do here. Like we talk Montreal, obviously, but we also talk around the league.
I mean, there was a bunch of topics that we had that we wanted to touch. Didn't even. No.
And it's just like, especially like last year, it was fun.
Once you get going, though, it just rolls, though. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And like that's why I want to tell the fans, like last year was fun. Like we could talk about Montreal the whole time because like they did so well. But like this year, Crushin Cans is like an escape from the Montreal. We talk about whatever, have fun, have a couple beers, interact with chat, have fun with you guys. Appreciate everybody chiming in.
Next Cans episode, we'll get some fans back on for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And check out AJ Galante interview we did last week, Derrick and I.
Huge.
Danbury Trashers, Untold Crime and Penalties. It was a blast to have them. And
Pushing
I think
the
we
wife
might
to get me a jersey.
And I think we might try to get some more interviews. I'm not sure if the fans liked us doing interviews, but I mean, I had
Let
fun.
us know though. Like legit, just shoot us a tweet or something. Let us know if you guys want some on. Like we'll try, but can't promise anything. So I know we got a wish list maybe for season 2 here that we can get 2 or 3. So
yeah,
we'll see what we can do.
We apologize if our guests are not Habs related directly, but like I said, this is your escape from a little bit of a Habs content. But there's a couple guys that are Habs related and a couple guys that aren't.
This is your weekend. This is your weekend pregame.
Yeah, interviews for sure from George. Nice. Well, to get those DMs out then.
I'll slide in some DMs.
All right. Like we said, subscribe to the channel. Check out habstonight.net. Big game against LA tomorrow, 4 o'clock Eastern.
Sunday.
Ducks Sunday.
Another 4
Dale's
p.m.
back
Eastern.
in Sweden, so he's going to be back doing content as well. Check out O'Toole de la Ligue with Nick and Shane, your French show. So if you're a French-speaking fan, O'Toole de la Ligue, Mondays normally. Yeah, appreciate it. And I know we said everybody's schedule is getting busy, but the team is going to make more of an effort to be putting out content. I know the Western road trip kind of puts a damper on things a little bit, but we are going to be back more than we have been the last couple of weeks. Just we've been working on stuff.
And we even said too, like if we can't get Cans out live, we'll definitely do pre-records or something just for, something for you guys. If you need something to, topics or whatever, sit there, crush a beer with, whoever you're with, and you guys want to, are agree, disagree, just content, whatever. It is what it is. And we're open to, all criticism too. Like follow us on all socials, like Brando said, and feel free to interact with us. I mean, I'm pretty active. I know you are. So
yeah, we're all interactive on our own, like personal channels, as well as our Habs Tonight socials. So just follow us everywhere. Just follow the team. Let's just have fun. Like, let's not forget Montreal made to the Cup Finals. I know they lost, but it's a sport. It's a team we cheer for. It is what it is sometimes. Let's just have fun. Enjoy the community we've built. Habsitivity, remember that. We still have that stuff in the works. Can't wait to release it to you guys. We're still working on it. I hate kind of egging you guys on.
You're the worst. You're like the one guy that's like, hey, it's coming. It
is coming. It is though. But it is coming. I promise you guys it's coming. It's just it's massive for us. So just stay tuned.
Of that right bicep, you just kind of low key gun show there, but that's all right. It's Friday night. Keep my hat on. It's Friday night.
All right, Derrick, leave me alone. All right, Nick, get us off here. Christ.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, guys. Have a good Friday.